question is, um, as leaders in corporations and government, we have to think clearly every day, right?
Yes.
We have to be on the ball, on our game, and so when you talked about the vessels and so on, and some people might have small vessel ischemia in the brain, for example, which means the vessels are constricted, and therefore there might not be enough energy going into the brain, etc. So
Yep.
our podcast is Mindful Leadership Beyond Borders. So I'm wondering, would the PEMF technology help leaders to think faster, think better? What do you think?
Absolutely, everybody. It should be everywhere. It should be in every school. Instead of having multiple wireless routers in your classroom at school, you should definitely have a device somewhere where so people can go and recharge. Corporations should have them. Human resources should jump in and put them in their coffee break rooms so people can go have a 10-minute recharge session. They
Right.
would get better productivity in their corporations. They would get less sick days, less back pain issues.
Of course.
Yeah, it should. Every home should have one. Like, especially if you've got
Wow.
a router in your house. Like
Yeah.
we need it. Cell
Yeah.
phones have taken over this planet with a speed that nobody could have ever predicted.
I know.
They're everywhere now, and quite frankly, to keep up with the bad health effects of all this increased bad information we're getting, we should hopefully. And that's what it kind of always surprises me, that most people I talk to have never even heard of PEMF, let alone have one or have experienced one. I'm seeing greater inclusivity from medical professionals and doctors and chiropractors and therapists that are realizing it's a good thing to add in. In these last few crazy years, we've seen that possibly you could get locked down and not even be able to get in to see your acupuncturist or your chiropractor or massage
Absolutely.
therapist. So
Yeah.
to have something in the privacy of your own home that not only works for one person who might be swallowing the pill, it works for your whole family. It works for your pets and your dogs and your cats and your plants and anything
Oh,
that has going to benefit from this.
I'll bet you the animals would just be on there all the time. The animals would love the
They
frequency.
actually they sense it more than
Yeah.
we do. We
Yeah.
had a cat used to go over and stand by the mat and cry until you turned it on, and then they'd lay down and purr. And most people
Oh,
have, when they're laying on the mat, the dogs come over. They're more sensitive and in tune because they're not thinking all the time like we are. We're very out of tune with the physical sensations in our body because most adults live from the neck up, constantly in their brain
right.
thinking,
Yeah.
and the brain activity. Like you said, you want leaders that can think clearly and come to good conclusions, and that aren't all stressed out living in fight or flight mode all the time. So that's the other thing. When you get on the mat, it instantly is putting you into your parasympathetic nervous system.
Got
So
it.
it's really good for people not only with burnout, but anxiety and depression and mental issues where they're having trouble cognitive thinking, even Alzheimer's, slowing down the progress of that, increasing blood flow to the brain. Because it passes the blood-brain barrier. It opens up the circulation. And we also have an option that comes with both of our mats that's not pulsed electromagnetic fields, but they're goggles that you wear that have light emitting diodes that flash alternatively, and you can dial in the color therapy. So when you trigger the left and right brain, alternatively, it creates new neural connections, which is what helps your brain sync up better, and you have better access to left and right brain thinking. That's one of the big reasons that people are structurally out of alignment, is because they tend to deal with the brain more from one hemisphere than the other. Most people are more left-brained. Our education system trains you to be left-brained.
Yes, it does.
More right-brained people are working from the more creative side of their brain. But again, they have what happens when let's say you're more left-brained. what happens is you have a stronger connection from the left brain to the right side of your body, because each side of the brain works the opposite side of your body.
Right. Yes.
When you have a stronger connection on your right side, typically your muscles will tighten. And when they tighten, they shorten. And then your hip gets pulled up and rotated. And if you laid flat on your back, one leg would appear to be longer than the other.
Right.
And that's because one side of your body's tight. And that's a lot of people that have back pain or neck pain. It's because they're structurally out of alignment.
Right.
Maybe because they fell or they got bumped out of alignment. But in most cases, it's just because of the way we think all the time.
I get it.
We're very repetitive. And that's what I noticed when I put people on the mat before a massage, that tight side of the body would relax. The feet would come back into alignment. And if you tested the arm strength would be equalized on both sides of the body without touching them, just from the effects of the mat. So if you lay on the mat every day, you're always in balance. Your body is physically, structurally in balance. You're not got that short leg and the tight hip and the knee that's out of alignment and the ankle that's out of alignment.
So something you said earlier intrigued me. So when you lie on the mat and your body goes into alignment, but we talked about animals, but how about the rest of your house? Like you mentioned plants. So how do the plants benefit? Is it because they are in the same electromagnetic field, or what? How does that work?
Yeah, they're in the same field. I've had a few people that once they got their mat and they set it up in their room, that they noticed that plants that hadn't been growing, or I had one that had a plant that had never flowered. And within like a week and a half of having the mat, because they were using it all the time in the room, and the plant was 5 or 6 feet away, the plant was getting some benefits too. And all of a sudden it came out with this beautiful flower, right? So,
well, I'm just wondering how far does it?
You know, if you were in agriculture, in my mind, if you put those fields close to your plants, they would grow better. You'd get better yield, bigger tomatoes or whatever you're growing, right? So,
well, that's what I'm thinking. Like I'm a gardener, right? So we have a veggie garden and flower gardens, and it would be interesting to experiment with that.
Absolutely. So yeah, especially in the initial, like if you plant things in pots first before you put them out into the garden, if you're growing veggies or whatever, and you start your babies off so that they'll grow faster. You literally will be able to see they grow way faster than ones that aren't.
Wow. Look at that.
And if you put your water on the mat first, it changes the structure. It makes it more soluble, so it actually absorbs better into your body. But if you watered your plants with water that had been on the mat, again, they would grow faster, unlike the microwave plants that die.
Yeah. So exciting. Raj, what do you, sorry, say again, Adrian?
Frequency is everything. Like
frequency. I know. It's everything. Yeah.
That's the new model with quantum physics. So I grew up with Newtonian physics. But quantum physics realizes that everything is a field of information. If you looked at the world with an electron microscope, you wouldn't see you and your desk and your tablet and your chairs. You would just see a soup of protons and electrons and neutrons, and they're all connected and they're all interacting with each other. And most of it is empty space.
Absolutely.
Even when you look at the atom, 99% of it is empty space, and that empty space is what we sometimes call air or ether, and that's the magnetic field. We live in a planet where empty space is actually a magnetic field, and that's what we really need to recreate. And if you can recreate it in your home in a simple and effective way, and it's safe, it's that's the beauty of it, is that it's really a very safe, non-invasive technology, and regardless of what's wrong with you.
So Raj and I are dedicated meditators. So I'm assuming that when we're meditating, we're putting out similar frequencies.
Yes. So Reiki practitioners and Qigong practitioners when they get to that place, they're also emanating those frequencies. They've calmed their systems down. Right? They've disconnected, but but if you meditate on the mat, you go much deeper, much faster, just because it helps get you to that state of, again, the resonant frequency, and getting you out of your thinking brain, more into that parasympathetic nervous system where you're in rest and digest mode instead of fight and flight mode.
So Raj, what do you think about all this? Fascinating, eh?
It is very important for me, because whenever I go meet in people in office, in my personal life, if I'm feeling I'm feeling sometime like, if I went some roads also, like in this road and that road, I feel the low frequency, and that road is high frequency, very positive energy. And the
Exactly.
car also, house also, from animal side also. I realized when I went sometime my very formal friend's house in my past, so I feel very low frequency and energy from house, dogs, cats, because they are keeping negative and very different kind of environment in the house. So
Yeah.
energy and frequency is very important for our positive side, and so many things, because I feel I catch immediately negative things and low frequency, because I'm doing so much meditation, so I can
We're
realize
sensitive.
when I see any house, office, building, then I feel same frequency and energy in my mind.
Yeah, me too. And I'll avoid stores, right? Or if I'm in the grocery store, I will pick the fruit that has the highest frequency to match me, right? So so I'm hoping everybody watching this podcast is getting a lot out of this, because as Adrian says, everything is frequency, and we want to make sure that our bodies have the right frequency so that we can stay healthy, overcome diseases faster, think faster, be more clear on what we want.
And sleep is a big issue for a lot of people too.
And sleep.
And our mats have a built-in organ clock that changes the frequency depending on the time of day. So we go lower than anybody else does. So at nighttime, you want to get your brain into delta, theta, and then delta. So at nighttime on the sleep mode, it goes down to 0.5 hertz. And then in the morning, it's giving you the more beta frequencies, because it knows you want to wake up and energize. And it also, every 2 minutes, it reverses polarity from north to south, so that your body doesn't get acclimatized to it. So I've been using them now for 7.5 years. And it's the first thing I've ever done for my health, other than Tai Chi, I guess, where you're continually growing with it, where I haven't plateaued. I haven't got to, oh, this is probably as good as it gets doing this.
Right, yeah.
It's literally, for me, it's reversed my aging. It's taken away my back pain. I never have any issues with pain at all, ever. If I do hurt myself, or I burnt myself with scalding hot water, I put the local spot pad applicator on it right away, turned it up, and 20 minutes later, no pain, no blistering, nothing. It just triggers that healing. So if you do something, and it also, especially for women, really important, is it increases your bone density.
Oh yes,
so
very good.
So I'm almost 69. I'll be 69 next month, and I have the bone density of a 29-year-old.
Whoa, did you hear that, Raj? Wow, that's phenomenal. That's really good.
It gives you that piezoelectric effect that you get from exercise or lifting weights just by sitting on it. So you get a lot of the benefits of exercise without actually exercising, which some people, when they're in chronic pain or disease conditions, it's really hard for them to exercise. But then as the pain starts to go away, pain is probably the main reason people get them, because they're either they have some kind of disease condition they're concerned about, or they have pain that they're, arthritis, back pain, any kind of pain, migraine, headaches. Those are big reasons, and people that can't sleep, because sleeping is when you do your healing.
Right on. Raj, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I'm saying in the exercise and gym also, I have seen whatever lifestyle we are keeping and carry forward every day, according to our mindset, allow how we are deciding how old we are, because the biological age given by parents, but the actual age we are designed for ourselves through our lifestyle and habits. That thing I
Yeah,
have also realized, because I've seen some people, they are 20, 25, but they feel like a 40, 35, the body language, the mindset. And some people I have seen in my gym, my other side, they are 50, 55, 60, but they are like a 25, 30, rocking energy, rocking body language. So it's
yeah,
up to us how we are design our lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah.
yes. Yeah, it's the things we do every day, the habit,
Yes,
not the things you do once in a while. It's your daily habits that create your response to life, right?
Mhm. Well,
correct.
thank you, Adrian, for being here with us today. We could go on for another hour, I'm sure, but we will put your contact information, PEMFsolution.com, right,
That's
on the
right.
top of this podcast, and people can contact you for more information or to have another conversation or to try your products, whatever. But thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you
I'm
so
so
much.
excited that
Thank you.
that we connected here today. Thank you so much. God bless.
Well, thank you.
Maybach music. Can anybody